Alrighty, hello to everybody. Hope you guys are all well today. I think we've got pretty much everything sorted in terms of Paperman for me to make this tutorial for the 80%. So yeah, I think we're just gonna hop right into it. For those of you that are interested in running, I am currently on the PC version. The run is very comparable in terms of load speeds on the PS5 at the very least. I know somebody who was trying to at least doing practice with the Nintendo Switch, but the loads are extremely slow with these. I believe it's the Switch 1. So definitely recommend the newer gen consoles or PC. If you run on PC, I highly recommend using a gamepad. I normally like to play mouse and keyboard for a lot of PC stuff, but this game's bindings are extremely messed up when it comes to running on PC. In terms of the options, going to the gameplay, definitely take a look at the camera sensitivity. You know, some people might have a preference for how fast or slow it turns. I definitely turn the sound down, the master volume and the music volume. So I think with that, so the only other caveat for this run, because the retiming, there actually is a little circle that'll appear once we click on the options. You can see it in the bottom right, so please make sure the bottom right is not covered up by anything in the layout. So when it comes to starting, Rome starts anytime that you select the new game option. So if you already have a save, it would be on this screen. If you don't have the continue prompt, it would just be right when you click on new game. But we're going to continue just that way I have free reign to access the different levels. Hello, Queen. Alright, so first thing when you enter any of the stages, is you just want to be holding the B or the circle button depending on the controller that you're using. I do have input overlays showing. It does show Xbox controls. I'll try to do my best to mention both Xbox and PlayStation controls. And actually, I am getting a new game because I'm going to show you guys how to the buttons to press when I skipped the opening cutscene. So new game, and timer starts now, basically. So what you want to do is when on that second on that note, it's a BA or circle X tab. If you do that in rapid succession with good timing, you'll be able to bypass all the all that opening cutscene. So I'll do it one more time. Just like that. And as soon as this loading screen pops up, you're free to hold B or circle. Alright, first things first, definitely, you know, run around, get used to the movement, get used to how he controls. It used to be that we had to use 3 characters, so there's 4 characters. You got Paperman, you've got Scrolly, you've got Carl, and you have Express. Express was never used in any of the 80%. Eventually we got it down to just being Paperman and Scrolly, and then eventually we found out you can beat this whole game with just Paperman. Paperman is pretty broken. So in terms of the main movement tech that you really need to know, the fastest way that Paperman travels is with his teleporting ability, which you throw a piece of mail, and then you need to make sure we're away from any of these characters, mail people. So you do the X or square to attack, and then the Y or triangle will teleport you. And you can see there's a point where you can where it just fades into oblivion. So if you practice and learn the timing, you can really get a sense for how far it goes. The other main piece of tech is going to be the so he has a double jump normally, and you can see how high that goes. But aside from that, we found out that if you chain it with his ground pound, so what you want to do is you want to hit X and circle, or A and B for an Xbox controller. If you hit both of those at the same time, not at the same time, slightly staggered, very slightly staggered, so I like to roll between the two. You can get an insanely high jump, and then you can chain it with the second one to get even more air. This high jump comes in play quite a bit because one of the main things with this game is the out of bounds there's a lot of climbable surfaces, as you can see, so we use that higher jump ability to be able to get on top of invisible walls and get over different obstacles you otherwise wouldn't be able to. In terms of that teleport, the tech that we have with that is to do what's called the chainmail. And when it comes to chainmail, basically all we're doing is we're throwing a piece of mail, warping to it, and repeating the process. And the timing can be tricky for it, so it's something that it's definitely worth practicing. The routing for the first stage uses it quite a bit, and it can also be used in the third world. Alright, so with that in mind, let's go over what the routing for the first world looks like. So, hello, Talon. So when we're coming through, we start off on the platform here. The other big thing is, anytime you see this A at the mailbox, that means you can jump in to change your character. And this can happen from pretty far away on some of the mailboxes. So you do have to be very cognizant about that. These mailboxes do serve as checkpoints as well, so I'll let you know some of the different checkpoints you can use to help navigate. So right from the start, you want to be holding the B and the up so you can just start running. You usually won't get to be able to throw the mail until around this point. And you'll see that runs. If you do the immediate cutscene skip, it takes a while for that first piece of mail to be thrown. The other thing too is if you're near one of these postmen, the teleport does not work. So you just do a couple of chain mails to be able to get over this gap. If you miss one, that's fine. You just fall into here, you just throw a mail out. This is another point where once you get close to this gate in particular, you will not be able to warp. And it's because you're reading that sign. So all we're gonna do is we just throw a piece of mail that breaks this. Sometimes you'll see the boards just get stuck. You can always jump over those boards, or you can throw two and that would that would break them. So this is another point where it's like, you're not gonna warp because you're right next to the postman. So next time you can do it is about here. This gate is the first that we are going to just bypass using the teleport function. The lineup really is just making sure you get in between. You can see how the mail goes through on a double jump. So if you do double jump and teleport, you can get through. And of course, because I am through, it's not gonna let me. So I'm gonna take a death. And deaths are costly. You can see how long it takes just to respawn in the back to a checkpoint here. When you're going fast to do this, you can actually do the double jump from here. You can see the envelope went through, so you can actually do as far back as there. So if you see a lot of my runs, you'll see I try to get the envelope and the warp through there. Usually this dragon's not actually a problem, so you just run by, you do the warp. Here you cannot do the warp because the postman is here, so double jump over the river, warp over to this gate, and this is where it gets a little bit trickier. So it's the same double jump. If you press right up to it, you can see that you can get the mail through. It's just really about the timing. So like that last one, there was nothing going through. Where you are in relationship to the posts, it can get eaten as well. So if you are having a little bit of trouble, you can always try to go back a little bit. But all we're doing here is throwing and warping through, so pretty much the same as the first one. The one thing to be wary of with this in particular, let me grab this checkpoint. This checkpoint is a good checkpoint to grab for the next section, but I just want to show off because if you miss time when to warp, you actually can get soft locked. It's hard to do this on purpose, but I've lost plenty. Plenty of runs from. There we go. Yeah, so you can get soft locked in here, which is not great. Luckily, if it does happen, there is the respawn. Though if it happens here, you're probably resetting the run at this point. But we've got the checkpoint. We're gonna just warp back to here. Alright, so the first major skip that we're going to be showing off is going to be skipping a number of areas here. So normally you're supposed to hit 6 triggers, open this gate, fight a giant Tangata, the Tangata chief. And the other thing too is you're normally supposed to be collecting 8 golden envelopes to be able to be able to gain access into the temple. But we can bypass all of that. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to be doing our really high jumps, and we're getting on top of the invisible wall above these rocks. You can just do normal jumps if you want, though it is trickier. How'd I get soft lock there? I have no idea how that happens. Hey, Gabina. Hope you're well. I've never seen that soft lock before. Just goes to show how janky this game actually is. By the way, if you want to know what I'm doing for the lock-on, that's going to be useful for the bosses later. But it's L2 or left trigger and square or X to throw. But you can see there's little steps you can be able to hop on that you can still use to get on top. But it's much faster to do the that ground pound tech to get up in the air. So from here, there's two options that you can do in terms of getting across. The first one, I'm just going to show off this first route just as, you know, if you're not getting the chainmail consistently. So basically what you're going to be doing is you're going around and you gotta make sure you're to the right here. You can throw mail to help you get over and across and whatnot. But basically all we're doing is running on top of the invisible wall to be able to progress. And so right above here, this is where you need to do a jump to get over to this area. More invisible wall to climb up here. Can do jumps, and then you're basically just throwing mail from here. This is a little bit slower. You can get pretty quick times to get over to this area. But once you get to here, you're just gonna run to the side of the temple here.
Great importance to the indigenous.
And then there's two ways to get up to this first platform. The first way is by doing, this one is a bit tricky to do. You can do a turn jump to be able to ground pound up to this ledge. Which, again, it's very tricky to do. I'll see if I'm gonna try to get it the once. But first jump you want to do a normal jump, and then the second jump you want to do the jump ground pounds. And thing is, you need to make sure Paperman comes out of the wall initially to be able to get enough height to ground pound up to there. The other way, which I found a little bit easier, is if you do double jumps up this slope, go over that fan, and then we use this fan to raise ourselves up. We can actually get enough height to get a piece of mail up there. But the thing is, once we're in this vortex, we cannot teleport. So what you're gonna do is inch until you get carried, throw a piece of mail, immediately turn and teleport. So that way we're in the same spot. From here, you can angle and do that double jump to get up on top, and angle the butt to slam up. If for any reason you're having trouble on the first couple attempts, you can actually stand on these poles and double jump up. And then all you're doing from that point on is going over here and heading towards the finish. Now I'm gonna take the death so I can show off what the chainmail looks like. So the chainmail, you want to try to warp as late as possible. There are some times where you just do not warp, which is unfortunate. So the angle I like to go, and I like trying to use that boat that's there. So we want to be a little bit right of the boat, do our double jump, and then start the chainmail. You can kind of change your direction while you're in the air, but the main thing is to keep the height. You want to try to throw as immediately as possible. And in theory, you can do this all the way over to the boss area. So from here, You can do a couple more chainmails. And really the main thing is just gonna be, you know, making sure you get up using the mail, jump a throw, and teleport as you need to. Okay, so there is one thing I just remembered for this World 1 temple. And that's just in case if you end up falling in this area. If you do, don't fret, there is a backup. So if you come around out to here and you see this Moai head, you can actually jump on top of it and get onto the roof from here. So that would be the backup for this particular spot. So that checkpoint there, that's... If you want to activate it manually, you're more than welcome to drop down and then just run up the slope yourself. Otherwise, you could, in theory, just chainmail from the top to go over. So with this boss fight, the slopes are jank. Jumps can get eaten very easily. One of the tricks if you're struggling with the slopes, just eating your jumps. If you go neutral and just wait the extra second, you can do normal jumps. So normally what you want to do if you're running up, you talk to him. You see how he opens the gate for you. But you can talk to him. He'll open. And you can try to throw or double jump over. So the boss fights here. If you see in the top, I know it's covered up as I do it. For single player, you need to get 5 of those packages into the box that's here. We found an exploit for the boss fight where you can de-trigger him doing the fight. The easiest and quickest way to do it, you need to just get out of the range of the fight arena. So what we do is if you use these poles here, you can stand on either one, which is useful for this attack. So he's got 2 attacks. He's got the throwing fireball and then the aerial one. The one that he just flings directly at you is somewhat heat-seeking, but you can juke it pretty easily. And you can tell which one he's going to do because he'll raise his staff for the ring of fire, and then he'll open his arms, cock his head back, fling it forward when he's doing the fireball, shooting the fireball. So you come up, you do the double jumps, you go high enough over, and you just need to clip the tiniest bit out. You want to make sure you don't go back over the wall. And the biggest thing is you do need to come back quick, or else you can get that trigger, which just restarts the fight completely. So when we're doing this, you want to make sure that we're not restarting the fight. So let's speed is of importance with this. So D-trigger, go out, run back in. So the biggest thing is once you come back over here, is really a point of no return that's right around this line here that you don't want to go past. And what we do from this point, because essentially what we're doing is we broke this boss fight at this point. We're gonna do the first phase like this, so he can still take damage right at this point. But what we're gonna do is we're going to get 4 boxes thrown in. We'll attack him. That will end the first phase, and then we throw the 5th box in. So the two ways you can pick up boxes. The standard way is just by hitting B when you're close. The boxes are weird to pick up, so you might need to like move around and you may not pick up the box that you necessarily are looking for. The other way that we can pick up boxes is with that ground pound tech, because since B is used to pick up a box, and when you do this, and this is going to be used for the World 3 area, so you can see he's got it over his head. We can still jump and all of that. We can still put it down, but if we just picked it up normally, we can't jump. And then square X is how you throw the box. So typically what I like to do is I'll do this ground pound throw. Because the thing is, there's a very high wall over on that side. So by doing this, this makes sure when I throw it in, that will clear. The thing is, though, you do need to be running as you're doing this. So, oh, it looks like I broke the box. Yeah, the boxes are very janky in this, unfortunately. All right, let's try this again. Yeah, so with momentum, it works like that. If we were just to pick up a box normally and try to throw it, it can work, but it doesn't always. So really, that's up to you on what you would like to do. So again, you do 4 into the box. And the nice thing is, if you do get it in, they'll respawn exactly where they were. Okay, and then you need to make sure you're close enough, because if you're too far, you can see the lock on is not working at all. So you need to make sure you're close enough. And it's 5 to 6 sets of hits, depending on how often you're hitting him. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's 6. So we throw the last one in, and this is where he starts attacking. So the biggest thing when he starts attacking, if you grab a box and he hits you, you need to make sure you wait until the animation is complete to re-pick up a box. If you don't do that, there's a chance of really breaking to the game where either you can't move, or you break him throwing the mail, which gets reset on a level ending. So that one actually clipped him. So we're gonna try again. So we got that one. And so what we're going to do, if you see here, you can see that platform. That's where the golden envelope is going to spawn. So it's 5 more sets of hits, and you want to try to see about standing on that platform specifically. If you're able to kill him, whether you live or not, you should still be able to grab the envelope. But the thing is, with you locking on, the camera is going to be a bit messed up. So once you go into this fight sequence, he does his magic throw and a regular swipe. And pretty much for both of those, you can just jump over to avoid. So the stage ends when you grab this envelope.
Ooh, yeah. And
then there's a screen wipe. And from here, we're just going to be spamming BA or circle X. As soon as it goes black, that was the other thing I forgot to mention. So when you're going to the second stage, the second it goes black after skipping that stage cutscene, you can start mashing to the right and pressing A or X to be able to load the next stage. The biggest thing is I would not start holding B until you see that plane going, or the screen, the plane going across, and the plane probably halfway. But at this point, At this point, we are into Valley of Sand. So this is another quick stage. This is going to showcase more of the tech that we have. So right from the start, when you load in, I'm sure you saw the control sticks. You want to be holding the left stick left, the right stick to the left as well. And what we're doing is we're getting Paperman starting to move in this direction, and the camera rotated properly because I'm sure you saw it focuses on Paperman with the plane behind him. So we're just getting that turn so we can get everything moved. But as you saw, I started holding B circle too early, so it dumped us back to this menu here. Okay, so hold B or circle as we load in. Turn the camera, start running. And it's around this plank is when he gets that throw ability. So we're just gonna start throwing and start heading over towards this bridge. So normally this area, you compared to the first area, originally it was much harder to be able to get into this pyramid, and this was pretty much required. It seemed like it was required to get all 8 golden envelopes to be able to come in. There's 2 different things you can do to be able to clip through here. I know Yuri still uses the old strategy, which is definitely a bit trickier, but you can use this gate with a precise lineup to be able to do the mail throw in. And the biggest thing is the timing that would take. The way I would line it up is looking at his right foot, and you can see the that texture on that particular brick. I would try to line those up and have the camera where the hat was just barely in line with the middle column. But this one is definitely trickier compared to the other strat that we have. So if you want to see, you can look at Yuri's run on the board. The strat that we do now is much easier, and it's basically just spamming the throw and teleport button, X and Y, or square and triangle. And all we do is we go up to this wall, we do the spam of the 2 buttons, 1, 2, 3, and usually by the 3rd one, if you get it right, you just clip straight through the wall. You don't need to be holding any directions or anything like that. And this works on just, you know, most parts of the wall. I do like going over towards here just because it's something for me to be next to. But essentially what's happening is when he does that throw animation, especially when you go fast, you can see how he leans forward. So we're getting that right arm to be in the wall. So by the time he releases the envelope is already clipped through, and we're just able to teleport straight through the wall. The thing is, once we get in, we're not fully done yet. It is a little bit blind, but if you do a warp, you can see that the camera changes. There is always going to be floor texture, so don't be too startled about thinking you're gonna fall through. But this particular wall that you see directly in front of Paperman, that's what we're going towards. There is an invisible wall that's around here, so you just need to be to the left of it, and all you do is walk into that black portal, and that teleports you inside. And the biggest thing is, do not leave. It's very easy to accidentally turn around, but if you do leave, you end up right back outside where you started. So I'll show what I normally like to do once I get in. So the second that you go in through the portal, I wait for, it's probably like half of the loading time and you'll get used to it. You can always wait until you fully spawn in. But what I like to do is I like to do at least one teleport through. Teleport.
The inscription in the center of the
And that
pyramid
just
reads,
at least gets you into the
"Pharaoh's
center.
true challenge
So if the camera
reveals
is
itself
not
only
cooperating
after
with
his
you,
demise.
you're not going to
Someone
accidentally
crossed
just
out
run
after
straight
and
into
strike
the
behind
void and
and
end up
strike.
outside. So I'll just one more time really quick. Nope, come on. All right, so we go in. And you can see I personally like doing the two. The biggest thing is you don't want to go too far because you can get stuck in the sarcophagus and then eventually just void out through the bottom. Once you get to the sarcophagus here, normally you're supposed to use all the characters to get the two hand pieces as well as two balls next to them. But we can actually skip all of that. You can either use the front of the coffin and do the spam, or if you stand at the corner here and face in, and you can clip right through. And again, it's possible at both spots. You don't need to be holding a direction at all to be able to do that. And now, normally what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to collect this envelope after you do your dance. The platform here, this area here turns into a platform that raises up. But we can actually bypass that by doing the double jump tech. And getting high enough, so. There we go. So you need to make sure you delay that second jump as best as you can. From here, what I like to do is again do the warp as soon as, you know, I get about halfway through that loading screen. Because you're always going to be facing this way, and the camera can be weird with that. So the standard way to be able to start the fight, and if you want to do this from the start, is by using this elevator. You can do that double jump once, you know, from that side, to be able to get up. The biggest thing I would say is you need to make sure that you land on that edge, because if you end up falling back down, what happens is the elevator will rise Paperman right back up through that portal, and will trigger the boss fight to start a second time. So I'll show that off. I'll take a death, and you can see just like that. So that's not going to trigger the fight to happen again. Let me take a death. I'll show you what it looks like if you do trigger, and then we'll go over how this boss fight works. This is one boss fight where if you're on the switch you can save time, but because of the frame rate, it's not a trick that's really viable for PC or PS5. So if I just did like that, so starts normally, it didn't restart. Okay, there is the chance that it can start a second time, and the biggest, yep, there it is. Yeah, so that's the reason why I don't personally like that strat, but it is a strat you can do. If you don't want to do that double jump up, you can always just wait for the platform to rise you. You'll be fine if you do it that way. By the way, hi Joe. The alternate way to be able to get into this fight, and it's just a little bit faster, not by much, just a little bit. If you come over to this barrel here, make sure you're not fully wedged in the corner. But what you want to do is you're going to be doing a double jump and then just doing the mash of the mail. And if you get it right, you just clip right through the ceiling, just like that. And that will trigger the fight. So this fight in particular, okay? The main thing that we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing this fight normally. So we need to bring 5 boxes to get him invulnerable for first phase damage, and then another 5 for second phase damage. So all the boxes go into this. Is it an octagon? No, it's a decagon. Into this decagon. It's basically a circle, but when you start the fight, if you hold up for a tiny bit, left for a tiny bit, and then straight up, you can usually align yourself with the plank. And we're gonna be going the left side just because it's a bit faster. So let me just clip back in. So hold left just for a smidge, and then as soon as you get control like that, you run over the plank, you throw some mail. So the main thing that we're doing here, you can see the stack of mail here. What we want to do is we want to knock off 10 of those boxes and try to get them on the pathway that's underneath, because we don't want to be jumping up here every single time. So first thing that we want to do is just take out this dragon. Takes 3 hits to knock him out. And then you can go behind the packages. You pick up 1 and you can just start moving the piles. If they land a little bit in the fire in the red hot sand, that's okay. It's not the most ideal, but if they're close enough like that, you actually can grab them. So the trick here is just avoiding all the different fire, both from, you know, the main greed dragon and the little dragon. Anytime the little dragon pops up, you do want to just try to get out of your way. 10 boxes means that we're doing all but 1 box. So we just try to get them all pushed down. You can always pick up 1 and throw it. That does make it a bit quicker as well. Now from here, the strats kind of vary. The main thing is just trying to do what you can to get things closer. I'm gonna show what I do. I think Yuri does it a little bit differently, so if you want to watch his run for what he likes to do, feel free to. The main thing I like to do is with these square boxes, because they're much easier to push than the rectangular boxes. You can see, like, I'm pushing it a little bit, but the square boxes are so much easier to push, right? So these square boxes, I'll run up to here. You'll see me angle like this as I'm running up, and then I'll throw it. And as long as it doesn't go in, they usually, with the right angle, they usually will end up around here. And what I'll do is, so let's show off this one. So you can see the reach for it is pretty good. With these rectangular boxes, I'll usually run up to this point here, right at this wall. It's a great marker, but this wall usually means I can throw it and get it, and you can see the counter went up. So we drop down, just repeat the process. I think Yuri, if I remember, he likes to grab them and then throw them towards the ramp. So whatever you feel comfortable with, feel free to do. And again, those square boxes, you can always, you know, try to push them closer. So what I'll do is I'll get 4 of these square boxes so they're over, you know, they're thrown and they're over in this area. Make sure you do that first, and then the last square box you do want to try to push so it's at least in this position. It could be over at the bottom of the ramp, but you do at least want it in the middle of the stage. So let's just get this set up. And you can see I pushed one of the rectangular boxes, so not as far to go for that. Normally I'll do these square boxes first, and then I'll do the rectangular boxes, since the rectangular boxes are the ones that need to go into the portal. And you can see, so because I grabbed it too quickly, I got in a weird glitch state. Luckily I was still able to move, but that's part of the reason why you don't want to grab the box too quickly. So throw that in. So what I'm actually gonna do in this case, because I got one of the square boxes in, I'm actually gonna leave a rectangular box to throw in. So that way we have 4 of those boxes to push in like normal at the end. So right there. Oh, yeah, okay. I see what I did, so hold on. So I just realized, so if that was the thing I messed up on. So it really all depends on which box you leave up. So we actually left up, it was originally this box here, this rectangular one that we left up. So if you leave that one, that means you can throw one of the square boxes into the ending like normal. So because of that, we're just gonna pretend like that's still down there. Okay, and so what we're gonna do, once we get this 5th box in, we need to jump down, and we're gonna be jumping towards the small platform directly in front of Paperman. And then jumping towards the big one, and then to this little one right next to it. And what we're doing is we're going to be attacking the boss with our lock on while leading him close to the edge, so we can stand on this part and still be able to be in range to attack him. So excuse me. So let's throw this last one in. Lock on, throw 3 at a time, and you can see how he's really far over. And when he does that attack, you do need to make sure that you double jump. He does 2 fires in this area compared to the one in the previous area, and he's gonna do 3 in World 3 for that attack in particular, but he's only going to blow that fire once you get to the side. So once you see him start doing that, double jumping, you usually will not get hit if you time it right, because the first one will be on the ground, you're jumping over it, and then the second one he'll be shooting above you and you'll be dropping down. So once we do that first phase, you saw the health bar go to halfway. That's technically how all the fights go, as long as you don't re-trigger anything. And so because we have all these boxes here, right? I forgot to grab the one that was down here. So we can grab the one, right? Get that thrown in. And then with this pile here, we can still pick up one, but then we can push the other boxes towards, and as you can see, the fence is low enough where pushing it in is a viable strategy. It may be quicker to be able to go up. So for this second one though in particular, I do go around a different way because it is 5 sets of hits. So normally if you see that platform right in front of Paperman, I'll jump to that one, then to the large middle one, and then go to the other large one. And you'll see the path I make. Basically what I'm trying to do is trying to get all the hits I need to be able to end up getting the last hits right in the middle of that black platform where the golden envelope spawns. So we throw the last one in, jump down, jump across, and the neat part is if you do take a death here, I did not get the death, but if you do take a death here, I'll take it now so you can see. It's only during the fight in the cutscene that taking the death works. So guess what? You guys get to re-see this fight. I wanted to show off the death because you are able to still grab it if you die during that cutscene. Hitting all the wrong buttons. Yeah, unfortunately it's not gonna work at this point, but because I already defeated him. So again, let's show this off. Spam right, and you can see we're already at Winding Peak, and you could hear the little dings as the screen was still black. But yeah, if you die during that cutscene, you can still have control of Paperman, and as long as you grab that envelope, you will be able to complete the area. Because the game doesn't care that you're dead as long as you don't respawn. If you grab that envelope before the respawn, then you beat him. All right, so on to Winding Peak. This is by far the longest region. The most to do here.
The place from the postcard.
So again, you hold up while you're holding B or circle. That gets you to go here. So the gimmick for the very first part of the stage is these invisible bridges. Normally you're supposed to hit that bell and it shows you the path across. For this path, it's very easy, you just walk straight across. And they're basically, these two postmen are basically just explaining. This bell did something, I don't know what it did. I forget what he actually says. So in this second area, right, you can see the path that you're normally supposed to take. I'll let it run through. And you don't need any of these tiles, as you saw, to be able to get across. If you want to do just the normal runaround way without hitting that, the land markers I use are the lantern for the first turn, and can go all the way to the wall, and you can see how there's this this line basically that's essentially as close as I'll go. Then you've got this wall here. You can see how it kind of angles out. So I use that as the corner. And the main thing I try to do is these two lily pads. I just make sure I run straight through them. And then once you get up to the top, you just gotta make sure you go past this, and that connects straight over. If you fall off, this is one of the biggest time losses for the stage is at least for the early game, is this. Because you warp all the way back here. So normally what was found that you can do, you can actually the gap is narrow enough where you can teleport across. So the good strat to do is if you activate that, you can see where the edge of this tile goes to and get a better chance to be able to make the gap. And then what you want to do is a double jump on the second jump. You actually want to press the male throw, because the thing is, once you hit the water, you're dead. It doesn't matter if you teleport after the fact. So you want to do the double jump and then warp across. I'll show you what I mean. So if I do, see how I'm dead and just teleporting the dead body across. So it's good to try to do that as one. You can try to angle a bit more left. It's just going to be safer to go straight across though. And you can try to corner cut some of these areas. All we're doing at this point is we're just doing a lot of movement in the stage. We jump up to here, and this is where using those envelopes to really help you get up extra platforms can be beneficial. I definitely recommend getting this checkpoint at the very minimum. I'm gonna get rid of you because you are annoying, and you may as well. So normally you're supposed to get these two pillars to be activated with fire to be able to open this gate. But you can actually go over the top of the gate. The first thing that we need to do is get on top of the fire pillar itself, which if you time that butt slam jump, you can also spam the jump button after to make sure you get up. But that's one way to get up. If that's being trouble for you, being troublesome for you, you can actually stand on the sign and jump back towards the torch. After that, you do a double jump and a butt slam, or you can do a double jump with an envelope warp. Though the butt slam definitely seems like it's definitely seems like it can be a better option. So pretty much all you need to do is go to the next area. So one of the normal ways you can get there is if you run. So right from here, the giant yellow crystal, you want to warp on top. You can jump on this rope, so you can jump on this tree. Normally you're supposed to fight the giant monkey that's down there to be able to get the pads that are there raised to be able to get up that staircase. There's multiple ways to be able to get up there. This is one of the methods, is just by using this tree and doing a warp across. You can actually, if you want to as well, and I'll go back up so I can show. You can do a chainmail from this top area here. And if you do it from the roof, the biggest thing to know, I'm sure you can see that ceiling is very low, so you will need to drop a little bit. So you do need to keep that in mind, but you can always go to on the tree and warp over and across, or you can just try to warp directly over on top of this area. If for any reason you do fall down from this tree, don't worry, because there is an alternative. You just go up this hill and do a double jump. It's kind of silly how that is just so simple to bypass. But from here, the camera here, I'm just gonna warn you, it can get extremely tricky. As you can see, it's fixed in certain areas, so I can't even move it. Normally what you're supposed to do is you run and jump across these areas, you jump across these platforms, and then you do the spiral. And this spiral is awful because of that camera change in particular. So if you go fast enough, there are two different ways you can bypass using this monkey's head. This particular way to get on top of the monkey's head is a little bit trickier. But you kind of want to stand, there's this little corner that's there, and you want to try to stand there and do a jump and then jump slam. The thing is, you need to have some kind of momentum going towards the ear, but the ear itself has collision that will block you from jumping. So this method to get up is definitely a bit tricky, but it is possible like that. The alternative method I found that's a little bit easier is if you use this arm here and do that jump, you can get up a bit easier. But that does avoid, you know, getting really turned around, going around that spiral. And all you need to do is do a warp across, jump across these gaps. And normally from this plank here, this particular one, I'll just do a one more teleport across. Once we do that, we're entering the staircase section. So you want to try to be doing double jumps up, but of course the stairs you can get stuck under and all of that. So one of the things I personally like to try to do to make it a little bit faster is I'll throw envelopes as I go. And it can be tricky because there are these broken platforms that you can just fall through, or you can just miss the railing completely. So these sets of 4, it's pretty easy to be able to teleport and get up to the top of it with a teleport. Well, like this staircase in particular, you can just fall right through. So you do need to keep that in mind. But if you stay on the outsides for these, it's, you know, for the most part fine. Inside for that one. Again, if you're doing the warp, you are going to be a little bit safer. So from here, at this point, there's really a couple of options, though the better of the options at this point is to try to go directly on the roof from here. I will show you the old method just in case you are interested to do the old method instead. I'm just going to get rid of this monkey here. So
is comprised of 3 stories.
Let me see, is this even possible, or is this a Switch only thing? Because this was the Switch person found that you could clip through the wall here. But this wall could be very similar to the Switch version where you had to... Yeah, this might be a Switch 1 exclusive clip, so... Normally... And I'll show this method just in case the other method is rough for you guys. This method definitely has a lot of danger with these monkeys. These monkeys are brutal to deal with. But going over to this side, and usually I'm only getting that checkpoint just in case I die. That was the main thing. If you want to be safe, definitely go and grab that checkpoint. But usually I'll cut across here and do my warps. But the main thing that we're trying to do here is get into the window that's on above this tree. Yeah, you can see how brutal these monkeys are. They are relentless. So, even though this is, you know, the easier way, the monkeys can still give you fits. So what you can do, you can either use the tree itself, or if you do that super jump, you actually can go right into this window. All of the other windows are blocked. This is the only one that has nothing here. So what you want to do at this point with Paperman is you want to get onto this middle platform and then warp over to this platform here. And then this jump is a bit tricky. So what you want to do is you want to do a double jump with the slam. You need to make sure you go under this railing for the jumps, and then make sure you slam so you get that ledge. So it's going to be a motion like this. And that gets the mask. The mask activates the elevator in the middle of the stage. So once you get this middle elevator going, there's two ways to be able to get the next elevator going, because there is a set of elevators. The biggest issue is there's 4 monkeys that you need to fight up here. So it definitely makes this tricky. So I definitely recommend for new runners, if you are doing this strat, definitely get this checkpoint. Do that after you get the mask, even if you have to wait an extra cycle. So I'll show the harder strat. And first, so normally what you need to do, you need to find this blue floor, and you're going to be going to this here, right? And as you can see, the platform for the mask is right up there above us. So what you need to do is you need to do the double jump slam to try to be able to get on that platform. And the thing is, the banners are in the way. So you need to do kind of like the previous area where you do the first jump around and then the second jump to be able to slam up to the top. The alternative method to clearing this area is just by straight up defeating the 4 monkeys, which that in itself is pretty tricky to do. You probably are going to die. I'll try this a couple times though. It's a very tight jump to be able to do. And the problem is the monkeys do respawn after some time. But yeah, there's that jump. If you're still going this way and you're struggling both with this jump and you're struggling to kill the 4 monkeys with Paperman, because killing the 4 monkeys just lowers this platform, turns this platform into an elevator. You can always swap and use Carl. Carl, he doesn't have the range attack. Paperman is the only one with a range attack, but Carl is extremely strong and can take down the enemies extremely quickly. So while it's not ideal, that certainly is a method you can use. But essentially you grab that one, you can jump straight to this platform, and this takes you up, and you definitely want to grab this checkpoint just in case you do end up falling. So we're gonna show what the newer, harder method is. Though with some practice, you can get it pretty consistently, I feel like. So with this, we're going to be utilizing our high super jump ability to be able to just straight up climb. So normally what you can do, and we have to do at least with the second one, if you angle the jump towards these lanterns, you can actually be able to stand up on top of them. I don't like using this lantern for the first jump because you actually can get the roof. So what I like to do is around here, I start the first high jump around here, and then I do the second jump with the slam when I feel like I'm close to the ledge, that I'll be able to clip it. There's not really any clue I use other than feel. And the big thing is you do want to just be ready to jump, because on an instance like that, I did manage to get up there, but I didn't stay up there, so. That one's close. So underneath the underhang. So see how if that jump, I may not have been able to stay on, it may have slid me off. So if you do the jump, it just lets you give that extra time to be able to get on the roof. So this second one, we are forced to use the lantern. The setup I like to use, you have to stand on this rail, and then the first jump you do a normal jump, and then the second jump you want to try to do when you're just underneath and right around, I would say, this point here. That way you still have the forward momentum to be able to get up top, but you don't bash into the underside. You do have to be careful because this one monkey will try to attack you. Can ground pound him to death though. And the thing is, you do want to get the jumps ready because you do need to be able to land on top of this lantern. So if you catch the very edge, you really have to jump into it and towards it. Once you get on top of the lantern, you're going to be angling off and doing a jump around, essentially. But if you're doing the lantern strap for the lower one, it's the same thing that you want to do, where you try to get on top of the lantern like I did, and then do the jump around. After that point, if you're doing the roof climb, you could, in theory, do another lantern jump if you're feeling really confident in your abilities with it. If you get it first try, it's definitely the faster method, but it's honestly, I feel like it's not worth the bother at this point. So this is where the routes converge once again. So what we do is we jump on this plank, and then from this plank up, you don't want to do that slam because you're actually too far away. Just showing that to demonstrate. So what you want to do is the double jump and then throw a mail on top, and then do the double jump butt slam to get over the ledge. And then this is where the final envelope before the last boss is. To avoid it, we just do a warp to the other side straight into the portal. So with World 3, we need to go down to trigger the boss down this ramp. Once we do that, it's going to put us right back at the top, and immediately we're going to go to this one of these lamps. I typically like doing this red one just because the camera angle always points towards it. and we're gonna do that really high jump, and that's going to de-trigger the boss. So we start the fight. And he is de-triggered. So even though I got hit, he is de-triggered. So I'm just gonna make sure I run out. And essentially what we need to do is we need to get the 5 boxes ready and over here. Normally what the game wants you to do is carry the boxes all the way around the arena. And the thing too is there is a lower area here. Once you get a box down there, it's basically dead to rights. There's no way you're getting that box back up at all. So what you want to do is you jump across. We're going to cut straight through the arena here. We can just start by getting 5 boxes. These rectangular boxes are going to be the best for this. The square boxes like to roll when you throw, and you'll see why this is important once we do the next phase. So you start with 4, just getting them the normal way. Just throw them down. 3, 4. With the 5th box, you want to do the jump slam tech to be able to raise it way over your head. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be throwing it onto that platform there. And it's important that we have the box like this, because if we were to try to throw it normally, it would just fall straight down into the bottom. So using this platform here, you can see the line right here. That's where I like to be able to set where I'm throwing from. So what I'll do is I'll do a small jump while moving slightly forward and throw. And you can see how the box landed there. The main reason I don't like using the boxes, you saw how that one rolled. I'm gonna grab one of these just to show you. Because if you see how that rolls, the trigger to restart all the phases is just right in front of Paperman, right around that post. So if we go too far, see how it's just right there? We're restarting the boss fight completely. Okay, unfortunate. I just gotta make sure things aren't totally broken here. Things really like to break with this, so yeah, it's just gonna restart. So I'm gonna take an intentional death. Dying here is not great, that's for sure. A lot of things can break if you die while trying to do this, especially for this arena in particular. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna move out so I can take a quicker death here. Apologies for this. Okay. I'm hoping this resets stuff because I really don't want to. Okay. Let's see if this works. It might not. Okay, so I'm gonna have to despawn the boss activity with a different method, but that right there you can see much better. how it works. Yeah, this might just straight up be broken, unfortunately. Yeah, so, don't worry, I will be editing this in post, so, I'm just gonna fast forward through this section while we get back to the boss fight. For those watching live, I do apologize. Alright. But at least you get to...
The place from the postcard.
see how this would look. In a live setting, I guess. In a run setting, I should say. Nitrodrome.
A gate blocks the path to the central level. Once opened, the path to the peak will reveal itself.
So actually, this can show off the other chainmail I was talking about. But unfortunately, didn't get all the way over. But that was a good approximation of what it would look like for the most part. And again, the biggest thing is just making sure you drop enough height. Okay, getting up. Plus. There we go. It's the first one. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, just like that, back to the boss area. Okay. Okay, so now that we now that we're back, we're gonna de-trigger. And it's not gonna be broken. But that's really a good lesson of why you don't want to de-trigger the boss. So, well, re-trigger the boss fight. So that's 3. This one's 4. And you can see how finicky these boxes are. So, all right, and 5. So we're just gonna use the flat boxes. Your strat. Yeah, you can see how that one had absolutely no roll. So the biggest thing is with the dragon there's sometimes where the box will end up where you don't want underneath you. So you just want to drop and try to redo the grab again. That will happen on occasion, and it does happen over there as well. It's the same thing, you want to bring it down the ramp, usually that means, and redo it. Okay, so once we get the 5th one over, that's when we're going to go across and start getting them into the basket. If you want to bring an extra one over, feel free to. Just whether it's from a bad throw into the box or you think one is too far up, it's not a bad idea to bring the extra one. So you do the jump again from down here. And then what I like to do is right around the first rail, I do that same jump throw. And you can see how it just goes right in. So you do that for 4 boxes. And then we trigger the damage from the first phase. This is box number 3. And you can see how that one landed short. So we are going to need an extra box anyways. But yeah, stuff like that is, if you want to bring an extra box, that would be the reason to do it. So you don't have to deal with going back for another box. If you go back for another box, it's, you know, just the same as we've been doing. Okay, so once you do that, we need to get the damage here. And because he's way up in the air, this one is a bit trickier. And this one takes about 10 sets. So what you want to be doing is a double jump. And you want to be trying to get the throws out as soon as you can. So it's going to be jump, lock on, and then throw. All in really quick succession. So if I do it the once, and you can see that one I didn't get enough height. That one we didn't lock on. But that one worked. Once we get all the throws on it, we're just going to be doing the same pound to get over. And then after that, we jump back into the arena. We're just going to stay locked onto him and essentially just leading him around a circle. Trying to keep track of the sets of damage that you do. Because if you can, you want to try to get into this middle platform for the final hit. Though it's definitely tricky to do, especially as you're locked on. So if you don't get to the middle platform, don't worry too much about it. Let's just finish the damage on him. And you'll hear the music change and overlap once you do it. Just like that. Oh, and I didn't do the throw right after all that, so. And this is the reason why we don't want to be dealing with this, because you see all the little dragons there trying to damage and hurt us. So what I'm gonna do, I've got box I'm carrying. And you can see how silly that is to bring all the way around. Okay, so now we got the final actual boss phase. 2. Just try to do the jumps. Don't go too far over because you will change your lock on. All right. And just like that, he is defeated. The final goal envelope spawns on this platform. And time for the run actually ends after the fade to black. Part of the reason is you can still control Paperman and move him around, but also just makes the retiming easier. So it's a twofold reason. So we grab the envelope. He does his thing. Time.
At last, the brave mail carrier.
So from here on, you're free to watch the cutscenes, or just skip over. Get to the credits. Thank you for playing. Credits scroll here. And that, as of right now, is the Paperman any percent route. If you have any questions, feel free to ask on the forums. You can always join my own server if you specifically have any questions. Yeah, if things, additional things get found, I can at least show you for the Switch players. That one tech for Valley of the Sand that you can use. Apparently you can use it for, if you remember the wall in World 3, the building at the end. The tower at the end.
The team arrives.
You can use that to clip that wall as well.
Where might the fiend hold out now?
But unfortunately, I don't have much in terms of strats for the setup to be able to, like, where you can stand, where the trigger is. So let me just get back here.
The inscription in the center of the pyramid reads, "The Pharaoh's true challenge reveals itself only after his demise." Though someone crossed out after and
Yeah, luckily it's all
next to it.
very fast to be able to move through here. Okay, so the strat you can do on Switch, because you can do a you can de-trigger him on this fight as well. What you want to do is you want to stand at that wall on the bottom, and you're going to do the spam throws, and what you're going to end up doing is clipping in to a small room that's next door to where we initially started the fight. And you need to clip out immediately after back into this region. I'll see if I can do it, but I've only gotten it like 8 times. We're pretty sure it's the frame rate that's tied to it, specifically with the Switch version itself. It would not be allowed to swap the frame rate for PC for this, since there's no native way to do that within the game. But you clip in through here, you clip back out. That would de-trigger the fight. Based on what I was playing with, though, it looked like the trigger for the fight was this platform here. Climbing up this platform. I'm not sure how far down the ramp it extends. So what I would suggest, and I'm sure, because it's Joe, that was the main one that found it. What I would suggest is getting 5 of the boxes down here. The square ones would probably be the best since they can roll. Doing the jump grab and being able to throw them into the thing from down the bottom. So you can see it's above the ceiling there, so you could definitely do something like that. I'm sure you could do. So I think a single jump might be a little bit better. May as well try to figure that out for you guys. Because the thing is, when you double jump, yeah, so a single jump would probably be better. The only thing is, I'm not sure if touching that wall would start the fight, or if you actually have to be up on that ledge. So that's the only concern I would have, and I can't answer that for sure. But yeah, the reason you don't want to do, because you see the flip he does, so that box could be in any position. So a single jump would be the better way to make sure it goes into the container there. Yeah, otherwise that's gonna do it for the any percent tutorial. Again, if you have any questions, yeah, the camera is not fixed in that state. As Joe just said, single jump is just the easier way to go about it. If you do have any questions, feel free to ask in the Paperman forums, or as I said, you can always join my Discord. If you have specific questions, I know there is another Discord, but it's not owned by me, it's owned by another streamer. That's where we've been doing most of the labbing. So I'd rather not give that info out until I get an okay, but I'm sure if you ask in the forum, you know, the people from that Discord will be able to see. I can always let people know as well. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy doing the speedrun more than the casual play. The casual play is... Casual 100% is awful. But thanks again for watching. I hope this taught you guys a lot. And yeah, good luck running.